Good morning, friends. How are you this morning? Doing all right? You are well. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone on this beautiful day? Good morning. Hello, everybody. How's everyone today? Hi, Jamie. Good morning, Vicki. It is gorgeous out. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. We are blessed to be in it. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. All right. Tad humid. Well, that's what the beach is for. So, good morning. Hey, Karen, good morning to you. Glad you're here. Good morning, friends. All right. Hello, everybody. Let's get going this morning. It is the 9th day of July on this Thursday at 11:11, and glad you're a part of the journey. So, there is this book that came out last year. It's not really a book review. I don't even really know the book that well, but it is. A few different people have mentioned it to me, and it's called Dan Brown's Secrets of Secrets. So it's this. It's the sixth version of Dan Brown's story. If you're into the Dan Brown thing and all the symbolism and all that sort of stuff, and the esoterica, it's a lot of fun and a lot of fun reading. It's obviously centers on this notion of secrets, and so I thought it's interesting in this age of disclosure that we find ourselves in. We're supposedly now getting disclosed about everything, and at the same time getting disclosed about nothing. Have you noticed this? That we have this movie that came out called Disclosure. It's supposedly kind of the Spielberg's take on the admission of the UAP, the UFO. I'm too old for UAP. That's kind of the UFO phenomenon and all of that sort of stuff, and what's going on with that, and a story that we're telling about that. Who knows what's true, but the disclosure of all the different things that coming out about what the government has been up to. Just last week we had the people testifying in front of Congress about the MK Ultra program and brainwashing of people and all the craziness around that, and all of this disclosure, all of these secrets coming out, and the Bible, ends. The entire last chapter of the book of the Bible is really the disclosure is really the disclosure chapter. Like, you can read the book of Revelation through this lens that is simply all about disclosure, right? Because you have these bowls, these containers, and what do? They pour them out, right? And so you find out what's inside. It's disclosure. There's this way in which the angels show up with these scrolls, but the scrolls have been sealed, and the scrolls are sealed and they are unwrapped and they are read, and so we know what the secrets within are. So, Dan Brown, and being able to create 250 million copies of books sold, has this way of being able to tap into zeitgeist, and that it is true that we are in this age of disclosure. And yet, in some ways, we seem to know nothing. Like we don't really know the story. We just know the story that we're just kind of discovering along the way that the story we've been told may not be as it was. And so that's not really disclosure at all. Like we don't have kind of incontrovertible evidence about what UFOs are, or what Sasquatch is, or what all these different kind of crazy things that are out there that we don't like. Nobody's saying that this is what these things are. We're just kind of in this age of excitement around the edges about, oh, we're going to find something out. Where we live in an age of Epstein files and all these sorts of things, which are the disclosure of horrible secrets in many ways, and yet not really disclosing them at all, right? In some ways. And so I wanted to come back, and we seem to be inundated by this stuff. It seems to be the water in which we're swimming all the time. And so I wanted to think about this on a really, to bring this back, because this is really my contention, if you haven't figured this out by now, but if you've been with us for a while, that my contention is all those things, these influences, these kind of zeitgeists, if you will, these ways of the world that are affecting us and are being a part of us, that are influencing us, all the influencers out there that are doing their influencer thing, all of that is the water that we swim in. But it is not us. And it is not how we are called to navigate these waters and to contend with these waters. And that it is my belief that our battle, our work, our stuff is actually very intimate, very close, very near term. We're not going out and working on these kind of global or national levels. We can't and we won't. We can go raise our voices against things, we can raise our voices, but the real impacts of what we're going to have, our circle of influence on what we can do and what we can't do is two things. I think it's, first, much more powerful than we think it is. And second, it is much closer and more intimate than we think it is. We have the power to you're one good conversation away, or one bad conversation away, from having an entirely different life. Do you realize this? Like, you could walk into any of your social circles, you could walk into any group and you could make a couple decisions, tell some tales, do some things, and you would have a whole different friend group. Like, we have the capacity to blow our lives up, to make a decision that changes everything, to release a secret that would change the world and the way things are constellated. That we actually have that power, and in that power we actually have the ability to heal and to strengthen and to encourage and to hold in confidence and encouragement the people who are around us. Proverbs 11 verse 13. It's thrown around a lot, but it is this simple thing. Slanderers walk around revealing secrets, but trustworthy people keep secrets. Another way it gets said is, a gossip goes around revealing secrets, a trustworthy person keeps a confidence. A gossip tells everything, but a true friend will keep a secret. People who tell secrets about others can't be trusted. Those who can be trusted keep quiet. There's a bunch of different ways this gets translated. But my suggestion to you is this notion of confidence keeping. Just think about it in that way. Think about the secrets that you have, and to keep a confidence. Which is really what we're in the business of when we talk about our friendships, when we talk about our partnerships, when we talk about our what we carry for our children, what we carry for our coworkers, what we carry for our institutions, and what we are a part of. We carry confidences, like that people can have confidence in us, and that we can have confidence in them. a part of this whole thing is that the confidence of the world is being eroded, isn't it? Right? The institutions we thought we could trust, the people we thought we could trust, the things that we thought we could trust, they're not as they seem. I don't know who they are, how they are. I'm not getting into that business. But what we do know is we can be in the business of building confidences amongst us. And what does that require? Well, there's this came from Len Sweet, sometimes I love his stuff, sometimes I find it problematic, but this one is just beautiful, where he talks about this guy that we encounter in John's third letter. So, Gospel of Revelation, or the book of Revelation written by John, the Gospel of John written by John, where John also sends 3 letters talking to churches and kind of encouragements to them, a little synopsis of what his letters are about. And he diagnoses this issue. And it's just beautiful. And Sweet points this out in his article. If you want to read it, maybe I'll put a link to it. It's really quite lovely because it is, he calls it our oldest sickness. And I love this notion of our ability to keep a confidence, our ability to have people who keep confidence in us. And part of that is hospitality. Part of that is welcoming the people that we encounter. And showing kindness to those whom we encounter, whether they are new or old or friends or new friends, but also it is this sense of holding the secrets of another person and of ourself. So this is from John's third letter, verses 9 through 12, or this verses 9. He says, "I wrote to the church, but Diotrephes, who loves to be first, will not welcome us. So when I come, I will call attention to what he is doing, spreading malicious nonsense about us." This note that line, because this is what Sweet points out, and it's just so beautiful. Who loves to be first. We tell a story about somebody that isn't ours to tell. We get in the business of not welcoming somebody because of not extending hospitality, because we have this love of being first. It is in us all. It is a part of us all. We all want to tell the biggest story at the party. We all want to tell we all want to be seen in the widest way. And it's not that we all want spotlight and fame. That's not what I'm talking about. We all want to be the smartest. We all have our own way that we play this out. Okay, it doesn't always look the same for each one of us. We're all different types and temperaments. But that love of being first, like if you think about it in yourself, you will see it. Like because it's a scurrilous little bug that'll chase around. We have to chase around our soul every once in a while. It really is. This idea of just I want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be the prettiest one in the room. I want to be the one that I want to be the first one. I want to be the one with all the knowledge. I want to be the one with all the power. I want to be that. It plays itself out in all of our own ways, but it actually has a name in Greek. It's philoproteon, which is just a great way of saying that. But this notion of about us keeping each other's confidence, keeping each other's secrets, and keeping our own, like being boundaried with people that we love, and not putting on them the anxiety of our own selves. That of what it is to carry great weight and carry great difficulty, maybe even carry our own shame. And that we can leak that out all over the world. Now, I'm not talking about trusted friends or therapeutic relations. I'm not talking about denial. Okay, that's not. If that's what you're hearing, I'm not talking about locking stuff from your soul and never encountering it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the love of one who loves to be first. This way in which we can pour ourselves out onto a conversation, we can pour ourselves onto a world, we can pour ourselves out, we can pour either ourselves or somebody else, which is and this is really what Solomon is talking about in Proverbs. The slanderer walks around revealing secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps confidence. That doesn't necessarily mean somebody else's secrets. Are you seeing what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm laying down here. This notion of and that John would encounter it in really in the very early church. And sweet diagnosis as the church's oldest sickness, because we can be so tending to be, we want to be the pretty one, we want to be the faithful one, we want to be the one in the choir that sings on key, we want to be the one that everybody looks at and we can quote our Bible verse, whatever, and that's just the church context, but it's in every context of our life. We want to be the one that's right with our partner. We want to be the one that has has the mostest of whatever it is, and we can, and yet to be contained, to be able to keep confidence, meaning that people can trust, have confidence in us to hold our own mud, to hold our own ability, to hold our own selves, so that we may make space for them and them make space for us. Again, this is not about denial. This is not about putting things away. But we are in a world. I mean, I don't know if you've been on social media at all, but people are just blah. You can watch all manner of things. And what I think is so funny about all the social media is they all of them have robust filters on them. There are scads of people. There are scads of AI out there who are actually pulling off videos that are getting posted on, that are getting uploaded to these sites all the time that nobody wants to see and nobody should see. There are all of these comments that nobody wants to see. So even the content that's out there is actually still highly curated. A slanderer walks around revealing secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps confidence. Friends, keep your confidence today. Keep your confidence. Know that you are a beautiful child of God, made in the image of God, and that you are built to carry heavy things, whether they are the secrets of a friend that has told you something that is now yours to bear with them, and that is work, or whether it is your own difficulty and your own struggle that has its place with a friend to lay down and to give to, but often also that in pouring out in the world doesn't necessarily help the world. And all of that we have to check that oldest sickness that we all have, that philoproteon, that desire to be the one who loves to be first. Friends, Jesus, in his wisdom to us, says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And that's what he's talking about. That we might hold the secrets of our friends, that we might hold our tongue in our desire to be first, that we might hold the confidence of the world, that the world may come to us in the hardest of moments, and we might be the person that those who are quivering, who are quaking, and who are wounded may be able to come to, because they have confidence in us. Friends, my hope for you is that this isn't just some sort of little rambling moralism that you're encountering today, but that you really might be able to know the love of God in Christ Jesus by keeping confidence of the people who love you and the people whom you love and the strangers that you meet along the trail. Because that is really what pilgrims do for one another. As the first are last, and the last are first. Peace and grace to you all, my friends. We will pick it up next week with another 11:11. We have worship this Sunday. It is a great Sunday. We'll be coming together at 9 a.m. here at 282 Rock Street. Much to lift up and celebrate in our journey through the Gospel of Mark. All right, peace and grace to you, my friends, and we'll pick it up next week with another 11:11.